On May 15th or May 16th, depending on where you live in the world, we have a total lunar eclipse full moon in Scorpio. And the total lunar eclipse event begins at 9:13 p.m. Pacific on Sunday, May 15th. And at this time, the moon will be at 25 degrees Scorpio and the sun will be at 25 degrees of Taurus. So have a look at your natal chart. Where's Scorpio in your chart? Which house does it rule? And then look at which planets do you have around 25 degrees? Is your sun, moon, or rising around 25 degrees? If so, this is likely to be the area of your life most likely to incur some kind of change. Something could be falling away, something may be culminating. Now, any fixed sign, so sun or rising, fixed sign at 25 degrees of Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, or those with their big three, their sun, moon, or rising. If you have planets, Jupiter, Mars, Neptune, Saturn, Pluto, at or around 25 degrees, you may feel the effects of this total lunar eclipse more than most. And Cancer, your natural ruler is the moon, so you may feel this as well. A full moon amplifies emotional energy. A lunar eclipse amplifies that energy even more, and we have a total lunar eclipse. So the energy is really amplified to the nth degree here. So have a look at what was going on in your life around November 4th, 2021, a few days before, a few days after, because that was when we had the new moon in Scorpio in 2021. And now we're at the full moon. So we could see a continuation of themes, but it is a total lunar eclipse full moon. So the seeds that we planted at the new moon may come to fruition, or we may absolutely just blow past those standards of that goal that we had set. Or we may find that we're just not on that path anymore. So have a look at some social media posts, go back and reread your journal entries, look at your emails, your calendar. What was going on in your life? Where was your energy focused? Also look back at what was going on the last week of February, first week of March 2022, because the eclipse could be bringing to a close events that occurred or were initiated during the last week of February, first week of March 2022. Now, the full moon total lunar eclipse in Scorpio is going to be a great time to write down everything that you're mad about, anyone that you're holding resentments toward, and it's going to be a great time to light it on fire and let it go. Now, the mother eclipse of this total lunar eclipse is known as the Saturn 131 eclipse series, and it first came to Earth on May 10th in the year 1147. It's expected to complete its evolutionary cycle July 7th, 2007 and 7. Now, the energy associated with the 131 Saturn series eclipse is very fiery. It's very conflict heavy, especially in regards to land and food. It's energy that says, this is mine, I'm not sharing. And that makes sense because the food, land, resources, they're all at play as we're on that Taurus Scorpio axis. Remember, Taurus rules money, luxury, food, resources, whereas Scorpio rules sex, psychic abilities, dark money, the underground, secrets of the rich and powerful. So Scorpio energy is all about illumination. It's illuminating the shadows, the secrets. It's also bringing awareness to our own mystic abilities, the magic around us and within us. So take some time. The last time that we were in the energy of this specific Saturn Series 131 eclipse was on or around May 4th, 2004. So look back, think back, what was going on in your life? Even if you don't really remember, like myself, try to think back, like what was going on? What kind of themes may you have been dealing with? During the total lunar eclipse, the moon will also be aspect Pluto, Neptune, and Saturn as well. So the relationship between Scorpio and these planetary aspects is basically a signal from the universe that we're going to dive way deep into emotions with a deep emotional purge. This is going to be the time where we face shadow aspects of ourself that we've been hiding. So in that sense, this is going to be a very profound time for transformation. But with any transformation, with any change, it can be very emotional. And Scorpio is a water sign after all. Plus, we have Neptune at play here with the Piscean influence. So allow these emotional waves to flow through you. Try not to judge, but just be aware. And then ask yourself, what in me invited this to be? What is calling my attention? What is this eclipse trying to guide me to see, to realize, to understand individually and collective? I'll give you a big hint. A huge theme is going to be balance and trust. Now, the total lunar eclipse event will last about 90 minutes. The eclipse will be most visible in South America, North America, the Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Europe, most of Africa, and the Indian Ocean. So keep an eye out for these locations in the news in the next few weeks. I also want to flag for you that during the 90-minute total lunar eclipse itself, the moon is going to actually move from Scorpio into Libra. Libra, remember, is all about balance, the scales of justice. It's about truth, harmony, energy moving through the cosmos in the right order to restore the right balance. So this total lunar eclipse is not just about an emotional purge. It's a big message of balance. So where are you in balance? Where are you out of balance? Because when we're in balance, that's when we can relate to one another from a place of respect, justice, harmony, because we recognize the humanness. We recognize that what you say may not necessarily be about anyone else, but it's about the relationship that you have with yourself. And when we are in balance, we understand, we trust, we know that there's an abundance, there's enough for everyone always, that nature provides, that Mother Earth provides if we allow her to, if we allow ourselves to create a harmonic balance collectively and not continue to have conflict over resources like land, food, money, gas, coal, and oil. Although there will most likely be massive changes happening in our external world during these next few months, if not weeks, this energy is asking us to keep the faith, to focus on what we are grateful for, what does bring us joy, what does bring us peace, so that we're not constantly living in this lack, scarcity, greed, jealousy, anger kind of vibe. So the key is to learn to live from your heart space. And this is what the total lunar eclipse is going to demand from each and every single one of us. Now, I want to share with you that in ancient Egypt, the Egyptians believed that the heart recorded all of our good and bad deeds. And after a person died, the goddess of truth and justice, Ma'at, who had an ostrich feather, would take her ostrich feather and weigh it against the heart of the person who died. If your heart was as light as a feather, you were permitted to live forever in an afterlife paradise. But if your heart was heavy, you would be sent to live in the underworld. Now, this does not mean that you are not allowed to feel heavy emotions or experience them. We're humans, after all, but we can still acknowledge we're feeling something heavy without getting stuck in a place of fear or anger. So this energy is really encouraging us to come back to our heart, to spend time journaling or meditating on this question of, is my heart as light as a feather? Now, to further activate that heart chakra, that balance, you can try to breathe in for 6 counts, hold for 6, exhale for 6, hold for 6, and then repeat. It's like a box breathing. So when you're breathing in, breathe in love, breathe in truth, breathe in balance, breathe in harmony. And when you exhale, exhale and let go of what is making your heart heavy. Breathe out what's making you feel out of balance, what is making you feel sadness, disorder, grief. Because this Scorpio energy, remember, is saying, I want you to take a deep dive into your heart. I want you to take a deep dive into your own inner knowing to face what is out of balance. And I want you to take note. Where are you not acting right in your relationship with yourself? Where are you harming yourself with your thoughts, with your decisions? And then where are you harming others with your thoughts and decisions? How are you being disrespectful to yourself? How are you being disrespectful to others? Where do you exploit yourself? Where do you exploit others? And how do you misuse the earth or the life that's around you? Also keep in mind, where are you on your own journey? Where is your heart? In which way does your heart feel heavy? In which way do you feel out of balance? What needs to change? Now, Scorpio gets a bad rap, but truthfully, Scorpio energy is extremely sensitive. Scorpio is a water sign, but unlike a Pisces or a Cancer, think of Scorpio's water energy like a river flowing underneath layers and layers of ice. So a lot of people don't necessarily realize this about Scorpio, but Scorpio is actually the most transformative sign of the zodiac. And Scorpios grow or heal in layers, and it shows up in the form of spirit animals. So there's actually 3 spirit animals associated with the sign of Scorpio, and the most empowered form of those spirit animals is that of the phoenix. Why? Because the phoenix is able to rise up out of the ashes. And how poetic for this time of such grand transformational energy. So I think that phoenix energy, that animal archetype is going to be absolutely huge these next few months, because how we show up for ourselves individually will affect the collective. What I mean by that is, if you're willing to do the shadow work, if you're willing to stand in alignment, live from your heart. We can change the world together, because when we individually start to live from a heart first place, when we are focused on peace and love and joy, that energy gets seated in the collective consciousness, and that's how we transform the planet collectively together. It always starts with the self on a healing journey. It's never about an external person. So really, in these next few weeks, take time to slow down. Full moon, feminine energy is all about slowing down. It's about receiving, resting. So ask, spend time reflecting. What is this energy trying to teach you, show you? Now, I hope this helps you find some peace and validation during this beautiful time of healing and growth and transformation. If you want a more personalized natal chart reading, or if you want to work with me one-on-one to heal from toxic relationships or narcissistic abuse, you can always schedule an appointment with me at elevatedaura.com.